Available now. Link below.
Tonight, in a story that reads like a David versus Goliath tale for the digital age, we dive deep into a saga that's gripped the nation. At the heart of the story is the unanimous Supreme Court decision that sent shockwaves through the political realm, placing Donald J. Trump squarely back on the Colorado ballot for 2024. It's not just a tale of legal battles fought in the hallowed halls of justice. It's a narrative of resilience against a backdrop of unprecedented political maneuvering. So imagine for a moment the highest court in the land standing is one, cutting through the cacophony of chaos to uphold the principles our republic stands on. What led to this moment? Why did Colorado Secretary of State's efforts to derail the presidential candidacy collapse under the weight of the Supreme Court's gavel? And most importantly, what does this ruling signify for the future of electoral integrity in America? Well, stay tuned for a special report that peels back the curtain on this historic ruling, because by the end you'll understand why this isn't just another news story. It's a pivotal moment in our nation's history, and believe me, you don't want to miss our final thought on this monumental occasion. Now, before we dive into today's eye-opening report, let me share something crucial with you. Just as we rely on the truth in news, our daily lives depend on managing our household expenses, especially our energy bills, which are sky high lately. Imagine if there was a way to fight back against these soaring costs. Well, there is. This compact little device, it's helping thousands slash their power bills. So picture this, a device so powerful yet so simple, it makes the big utility companies nervous. Why? Because it puts the control back in your hands. Don't let them overcharge you any longer. Visit don'twastepower.com right now to get your device at an exclusive 65% discount. This isn't just about saving money. It's about taking a stand, much like standing up for our rights in the face of adversity. Join the fight against unnecessary high bills. Visit don'twastepower.com today. Now, in a move that has sent shockwaves through the political sphere, the Supreme Court of the United States issued a unanimous decision this week that reaffirms the foundation of our republic and the principles of justice we hold dear. The landmark ruling that has placed Donald Trump back on the Colorado ballot for the 2024 primaries is a decision that not only challenges the overreach of state power, but also serves as a testament to the resilience of truth in the face of partisan manipulation. The controversy began when Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold embarked on a crusade to disqualify Trump from the ballot, citing allegations of insurrection. Now, this move, unprecedented in its audacity, was met with immediate backlash from conservatives and constitutional scholars alike, who saw it as a blatant attempt to circumvent the will of the people and the laws of the land. Griswold's actions, which seemed more rooted in political vendetta than any legal precedent, were a dangerous overstep that threatened to undermine the integrity of our electoral process. Take a look.
My larger reaction is disappointment. I do believe that states should be able, under our Constitution, to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists. And ultimately, this decision leaves open the door for Congress to act, to pass authorizing legislation. But we know that Congress is a nearly non-functioning body. So ultimately, it will be up to the American voters to save our democracy in November.
It's always been that way. Now, the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, saw through the political smokescreen by ruling unanimously in favor of Trump's eligibility. The justices not only protected the sanctity of our elections, but also sent a clear message about the limits of state power in federal electoral matters. This decision underscores the principle that the authority to enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment lies with Congress, not individual states. It's a reminder that our system of checks and balances works, and no single state can unilaterally impose restrictions that have nationwide implications on the democratic process. And Griswold's reaction, as you saw to the Supreme Court decision, was as predictable as it was disappointing. Fleeing to the sympathetic ears of MSNBC, she lamented the ruling, framing it as a loss for Colorado and for her own misguided efforts to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists from our ballot, despite the fact that Trump has never been charged with insurrection. This narrative, pushed without evidence and contradicted by the highest court in the land, is indicative of a larger problem within certain political circles, a willingness to sacrifice truth and justice on the altar of political expediency. So it's essential to scrutinize the motivations behind Griswold's actions and the broader implications they have for our electoral integrity. Her decision to disqualify Trump was not an isolated incident, but part of a pattern of behavior that raises serious questions about the objectivity and fairness of her office. From sending voter registration notices to non-citizens to her attempts to eliminate voter signature verification, Griswold's tenure has been marked by controversy and accusations of partisanship. Now, this latest saga is just another chapter in a troubling narrative of a public official who seems more interested in serving a political agenda than upholding the principles of our republic. Now, the Supreme Court's ruling is not just a victory for Trump, but a win for all Americans who believe in the rule of law and the sanctity of our electoral system. It reaffirms that no one is above the Constitution and that attempts to manipulate the electoral process for partisan gain will not be tolerated. This decision is a resounding rejection of the notion that states can arbitrarily decide who is and who isn't allowed to run for office based on politically motivated criteria. Moreover, this ruling highlights the critical role that the judiciary plays in our republic. In an era where political polarization threatens to erode the foundations of our republic, the Supreme Court has stood as a bulwark against the excesses of partisan politics. By unanimously siding with the principles of justice and fairness, the justices have demonstrated that the judiciary reigns an impartial arbiter of our laws, capable of rising above the fray of political bickering to safeguard the rights of all citizens. So as we move forward, it's crucial that we remain vigilant against attempts to undermine our electoral integrity, whether they come from within or beyond our borders. The actions of Jena Griswold and her ilk serve as a stark warning about the lengths to which some will go to tilt the scales of justice in their favor, but also it reminds us of the resilience of our legal system and the enduring strength of our democratic principles. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. In the final analysis, the Supreme Court's unanimous decision to reinstate Donald J. Trump on Colorado's 2024 ballot isn't just a victory for one man or a political party. It's a resounding triumph for the American Republic itself. This case transcends partisan politics, highlighting the bedrock principle that our nation's legal standards and constitutional safeguards stand above political maneuvering. It sends a clear message that the rule of law, the authority of Congress, and the rights of candidates and voters are paramount. And Jena Griswold's attempt to circumvent these principles was not just an affront to Trump, but to every American who believes in the sanctity of our electoral process and the integrity of our Constitution. As we move forward, let this moment remind us that justice, when rightly pursued, ensures our republic's resilience and the enduring strength of our democratic processes.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.